The supreme goddess, exalted above all, was betrayed by the son he had raised with his own hands. He was deceived, imprisoned, and reduced to a captive, a life held entirely within his grasp. Seeing how lonely Mut had become, his consort Amun gathered the light of the sun itself and shaped it into human form, offering it to him as a companion. Who could have known that the very first thing the son would do after growing up was to kill his own father? Mut confronted his son, demanding to know why he had done such a thing. Did he not understand that this was a grave crime, a violation of all divine ethics? Now that he had slain his father, was he planning to kill his father next? The son turned back with a wicked, alluring smile. Gather, why would you say such a thing? From beginning to end, my only goal has always been you. Mut raised his blade and rushed forward, but Montu blocked him attack effortlessly with a single move. Seeing the defeat written on Mut's face, Montu laughed aloud. Father, you truly know nothing at all. How could you ever defeat the god of war? Just like what exists between you and me, I have finally obtained your love and yours alone. From that moment on, Mut was imprisoned by Montu. Though he had managed to escape his chamber a few times, he was always quickly discovered by Montu's watchful eyes. At last, after carefully calculating the rising and setting of the sun, he seized a moment to evade the guards and flee. Yet after this ordeal, a seed of fear was planted deep within Mut's once desolate heart. After leaving Montu's sacred domain, his divine power began to fade. Even so, he had no choice but to use his strength one final time. In the brief instant when the sun was veiled by clouds, he stole Montu's solar bark and followed the overflowing Nile, heading toward the land of humans, Egypt. What he never expected was this. The humans he had created were far more terrifying than Montu himself. After arriving in the land of humans, Mut collapsed from complete exhaustion of his divine power. When he finally awoke, he found himself rescued by a renowned local man. Mut asked who the man before his was. Instead of answering directly, he spoke of something else entirely, saying that he had been waiting for someone like Mut to appear. He said he had once worked in a temple, praying every day for divine protection that never came. And you? He asked. Are you a priest or a hierophant? Mut decided to conceal his identity as the father goddess. He said he was merely a servant, a priest, of Mut. The man's expression changed instantly. He said that Mut was revered as the father of the emperor, yet had abandoned them. If he was truly Mut's priest, then he must be able to help him, and only he could help him. Mut didn't understand what he was asking for, but with his divine power depleted, he knew he could help no one. From the moment he stepped out of Montu's sacred domain, he had lost everything. The man's face darkened at once. Nothing at all, he said coldly. How could you have nothing? He stared at his golden hair. Look at this, so beautiful. Every strand is like gold thread embroidered by the gods. As he spoke, his hands began to wander. He seemed completely unhinged. No matter how Mut struggled, he couldn't break free. As he punished him, he demanded blessings in the same breath, insisting that he use the body chosen by the gods to grant him the greatest blessing of all. Mut never imagined that humans, too, could harbor evil as cruel as demons. He had to escape. Let me go. Now, whenever he recalled how he had been forced just moments earlier, Mut felt sick to his stomach. He only wanted to scrub his mouth raw, as if he could wash away the filth that now clung to him. But having lost his divine power, he no longer possessed an invulnerable body that never fell ill. Just then, a child not far away caught his attention. Seeing him staring, the child asked if he wanted the bread he was holding. Mut slowly stood and walked over. Go on, he said softly. Eat it. The child didn't keep it all to himself. Instead, he broke the bread in half and offered one piece to Mut. Mut felt a surge of warmth. It seemed that among humans, there were still good people. Ever since Montu had driven chaos through Egypt, it wasn't only adults who suffered. Even children so young were forced to endure hardship. Mut asked the child if he would be willing to come with him. He promised that he would never let him go hungry again. But penniless and stripped of divine power, Mut couldn't even find food for himself. With no other choice, he returned to that man, The outcome truly caught him by surprise. Bread? He scoffed. Not just bread. Whatever you want, I can give you. His gaze roamed over Mutt with undisguised ill intent. This must be the will of the god Mutt, right? He said. If it's a divine blessing, then I won't hold back. Mutt had only wanted a piece of bread. How had things ended up like this again? The man kept using his mouth to draw out his so-called blessing, filling him with disgust. Then he made another proposal. If you give me an even better blessing, he said, I'll pay you 3 times what I gave before once it's over. That scene made Mutt think of Montu. Back then, he had looked at him with the very same eyes.